everybody, it's Christine from the Gospel Method, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to play Done Enough by James Wilson in the key of G. Now, be sure to go over to thegospelmethod.com, get your free download of this handout, as well as many others under free resources. Now, what we're going to do today is I'm going to start with this basic version, and then stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to add in things on top of it, so you can write in on your papers. So we're going to add in some diminished passing chords, and some sevens, and some goodies like that. But we're going to start first, nice and steady, assuming you've never played in the key of G before. So we're going to go over all of the chords that you're going to find in slow-mo. I'm going to play through a little bit so you can hear what we're going for. We're going to do hands together in the key of G. Alright, are we ready? I was lost, I was found in a life of sin and shame, until Jesus brought me out, and I've never been the same. Alright, so that's the idea. We're going to go through the basic version first, show you all the chords, and then we're going to add a little bit extra. So let's start at the beginning. It says intro. If you want to do an introduction, just play verse 1 without the singing, and then jump into verse 1. We're going to be playing in G position. So G major is going to be root position. G's on the bottom. And then I'm going to play all the other chords in this song so that I'm playing the closest version to G. So I have actually made a chart with this, and in the description box below you'll see a 6-part free series. It's about 6 hours of YouTube videos, all completely for free, how to play in the key of G. And if you go down there in those downloads, you'll see a whole chart of all these inversions that I'm referencing today. But I'll go through nice and slow and show you. Alright, so we've got G major first. So we've just got G on the right hand and 1 G on the left hand. Now, we're going to skip past this G major 7 for now. We're going to come back to that, but then we're going to go down to our C. So if we play G like this, C is going to be like this, G, C, and E. That's easier to get there. And then back to G, and then it's going to repeat itself again. So Jesus brought me out, and I've never been the same. Alright, so again, those inversions, all pictures of all these chords that I'm doing is down in the description in those lessons. Now, if we go down to the pre-chorus, we have a D major. So it's going to be F sharp, A, and D on the right hand is the easiest way to get there. I will be grateful. And then we're going to go up to E minor, like this. G, B, and E. Because you have been faithful. And then back to our C, which has the G, C, and E. Okay, so that's all those chords. We'll go up to the chorus now. We have E minor again. So again, like this, G, B, and E. And then C. And then G. So if you never do anything else, you've already done enough. Okay? So that's all our chords there, E minor, C, and G. So thankfully, this song doesn't have too many chords. And then in the bridge, we'll go through these chords, and then I'll play through the whole thing slowly with the slashes so that you can hear it. So we'll start with G for the bridge, and then we have F. So I'm going to just do F like this in root position. It's not on our chart because it actually doesn't belong in the key of G. Normally you wouldn't play an F chord, but we're just going to play it like this, F, A, and C. And then back up to C major like this. And then we have C minor right here. And this chord also doesn't belong in the key of G. So it's not something you'd see very often in the key of G. But all you have to do, if we play C like this, G, C, and E, just take your E and change it to E flat. And that's a C minor chord. Okay, G, C, and E flat. In root position, it looks like this. It just looks like a C chord, but with the E has a flat instead. Okay, but we're going to play it like this. G, C, and E flat, because it's a little easier to get through. And then back to G. Okay, so that's all our basic chords in there. And like I said, if you need some pictures to help you write them down, in the description below, there's a full 6-part series on playing in the key of G. Now, let's look at this G major 7 chord right here. how do we make an Maj7? This is a jazz 7 chord, and they are beautiful. And all we're going to be doing is adding one note, and it's going to totally change the sound of this chord. Now the rule for major 7s is find your regular chord first, so G is a regular chord. Then you're going to take the root note, which is G, and you're going to go down 1/2 step. So I'm going to go left 1, which puts it on the F sharp. Alright, so there's a G major 7. So G, B, D, F sharp. That's the easy way to think of it, is just to take your root note and go down. I do want to show you really quickly how to build it all together so you understand what it looks like all stacked. So if you have your major chord like this, you're going to go up 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is what it looks like in root position. So you have a G major with an extra note on top, and this is the note that makes it the major 7. Okay, but instead of jumping and stretching our hands, the easier way to get all those notes is just to move that root note on your right hand to the F sharp, and we have all those notes. G, B, D, F sharp. Okay, so it looks scary, but it's really not too bad. So I'm going to write that in for you here. So we have F sharp, B, and D on the right hand, and then G on the left. Okay, so let's go through this. Verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus, nice and slow, and the bridge. And then we're going to add in our diminished passive chords and a bunch of 7s, okay? So here we go. If you want to play through, this would be a good time. Come back to this part of the video and play along with me. I was lost, I was found in a life of sin and shame, until Jesus brought me out, and I've never been the same. Pre-chorus. I will be grateful, 'cause you have been faithful. I will always choose to give you praise. Go to the chorus. If you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. If you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. Bridge. I'll praise you at all times. I'll praise you at all times. I'll praise you at all times. You've done enough. And then you can repeat that. I'll praise, okay? And then you would go back to the chorus if you want to end it. So that gives you all the pieces, so you can go through and practice that. If you were to end it, you've already done enough. Back to the chorus. If you never do anything else. And then you could go all the way to the end of the chorus. You've already done enough. And you could end it right here. Just kind of like slow it down and end it right there. Okay? So that gives you all the pieces of the basics. And like I said, we're going to add in some more now. So first of all, let's go through and add in some major 7s like we did on this G major 7. And we're going to add some in on the C's. So any C in the song you can change to C Maj7. And that's going to look like this. So if you're in G, you'd play C like this. Take your C, change it to a B. Okay? Or you can play both of them if you really want it crunchy. Okay? But we need that B, and that's going to change it into a C major 7. So I'm going to write G, B, and E, and then C on the left. Okay? So all of these C's we can change. So this one, and we've got some down here. There's some on the chorus. Okay, any C in the song we can change to a Maj7. So it would sound like this. I was lost, I was found. Here's the C major 7 in a life. So like that B, life of sin and shame. So you can decide if you want to keep the C or not. Until Jesus brought me out, and I've never been the same. Chorus. So here's something kind of neat. If you play your E minor, it's like this, and then you go to C, M, A, J, 7, it stays the same, just the left hand changes. If you never do anything else. Okay, so that's the M, A, J, 7 on the C chord. And I call it an M, A, J, 7, it's a major 7. But I always found it so confusing as a student when people would say C7, C major 7, all this stuff, because C major 7 to me, when you say it, sounds like C7, C major 7. So I always call it C M A J 7 to remind myself it's the jazzy one. Okay, so that's that one. We can also change all of the E minors can be changed to E minor 7. So here's a fun fact. Anytime you have a minor chord in your song, you can change it to a minor 7. Almost always it sounds really nice. So if we're playing an E minor like this, we are going to change the E. We're going to go down 2 half steps. Okay, so the jazzy one, if it has M, A, J beside it, you go down 1 half step. But if it's a regular 7 or a minor 7, you go down 2. So instead of this D sharp, we would go down 1, 2, and that's why we have that D in there. So the chorus would be if you, like that, with the E minor. If you never do anything. Listen to the jazz already. You've already done enough. Just adding that D. Okay? So any E minor. So we can circle a couple of those. Let's make them purple. Okay, so this is going to turn, that's going to turn into a major 7. Oh, it's changing my colors. Anyway, E minor here, E minor, okay? And then, is there any down here? There's one down here on the pre-chorus. Change those to 7s. Delicious, beautiful, okay? Now the next thing we're going to add in, this is my favorite, is a diminished passing chord. Diminished passing chords, I have a whole lesson on it in the premium membership. There's a free trial for that if you're interested in going a little farther in your studies. But the easy way to think of it is you can put it before a minor chord. Okay? So if we have an E minor here, we're going to take this one right before the minor chord. And there's some math to figure out which one's which, but we're going to change this to a D sharp diminished chord. All right, and for our inversions, just to make it simple for you, we're just going to play it F sharp, A, and D sharp. So on our D major right here, D, you were playing it like this, F sharp, A, and D. When you get to this circled one, the D sharp diminished, just take your right hand and put that pinky up to the D sharp, and it's going to make D sharp diminished. And on our left hand, take it from the D to the D sharp. So D, and then D sharp, and then E minor. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so I know I will be grateful because you have been faithful. Isn't that beautiful? So we can do that right here on our way to that E minor. So that's a little fun for you. And I didn't want this video to be too long, but there's just so many fun little things you can add into this if you're ready for that next step. I always found when I was trying to go from beginner to intermediate, this is where I would get stuck. I'd find these simple chord charts, and I'm like, but I want it to sound gospel-y. I want it to sound like rich and thick, and I would Google, you know, this song, intermediate chords, and I couldn't find it. So that's why we've created this channel, is to teach you how to add it in yourself. Okay, so I've got one more for you. We're going to add in a slash chord now on the chorus. Again, on our way to this minor chord. Minor chords are really special for adding in fun stuff. And we are going to add in, let's see here, right here. See if it will let me change it. Ah, there we go. On the way to the E minor, and we're going to put another one down here. We're going to add in a special slash chord. Then this works like a passing chord, but it's a little simpler. So if that D sharp diminished is a little too much, this is another option that you can use. And this, I'm just going to write it over here so we have more room. But we're just going to put D slash F sharp. So what that means is my right hand is going to play a regular D chord, D major, and my left hand is going to play F sharp. Okay? And it's on right before that E minor. So let's see. We have E minor 7 at the beginning. If you never do anything else, you've already done enough. Isn't that nice? It's kind of like a walk down to our minor chord. Okay, so again, if you never do anything else, you've already done enough. You've already done enough. Here we go again. Bump. If you never do anything else, you've already done enough. Okay, so you can see how that works. So adding in these extra chords also has the benefit of giving you more rhythm. So you can see instead of just playing 4 C's or 4 E minors, having that extra chord naturally changes the rhythm for you a little bit to make it feel more intermediate. Okay, so you can find this regular chord chart over on our website, totally free. Download it, thegospelmethod.com. If you're looking for the free 6-part series of how to play in the key of G, again, in the description, totally free. All the handouts are free to go with it. And if you're looking for a little bit more, we do have a premium membership. And again, free 7-day trial down in the description. Our channel is all about making music accessible to you so you can learn for church. Now, of course, if you want a copy of our book coming out, Playing in All 12 Keys, that will be coming out by the end of 2025. So we will be putting some announcements for that as that becomes available. And that's a textbook for you. You can get it off Amazon, and it's going to just take you through in a book style of how to play in all 12 keys. So that's been highly requested. We've been working really hard on it, and that should be available at the end of 2025. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.